Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Welcome everybody to another edition of I'll Hang Up and Listen. And let's start off with he's a brick. Hauser. He's mighty, mighty, winning it in the shootout. He's a brick. Hauser. He's mighty, mighty, the legend of Michael Hauser. Woo! Second straight win for Michael Hauser. 48 saves. Get it in the shootout. Unbelievable effort by the boys tonight. They were absolutely buzzing. Best kind of Duane. Best kind. I love it, guys. I always appreciate you guys chiming in the comments. Great effort. Again, they were down early. Went down 1-0, came back, tied it up. Then went down 3-1, unfortunately. And then they come back, tie it up. Anders Bjork, unbelievable game tonight. Probably his best game as a Sabre. Hauser came up big again for them tonight. Not just in the shootout, but in that third period. Had a lot of huge saves. That one that stood out the most was the one against Zizekas. It was just a great game all around for the boys. Leading off scoring, I believe was who was it? Yes, right. The redhead Cody Eakin led off scoring for Buffalo tonight. Finally does something productive for Buffalo, and then obviously they went down 3-1, and then you get 2 straight goals from Bjork. Great shot from Miller at the point, deflected in by Bjork, and then Bjork with an absolute snipe, low glove hand on Sorokin, choking Sorokin, and they end up winning it in the shootout with a goal from Bjork. And bringing in, joining me on this edition of I'll Hang Up and Listen, we will bring in producer Steve. Steve, how are you tonight, bud?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to find the outfit that accurately represents how excited I am. I got the 50th anniversary Olofsson. It's all right. I got a few other choices. I could go with the Where's Kim, but that doesn't feel appropriate tonight. I could go with the bullshit hat. That really doesn't feel appropriate tonight. I could go with this, but, after Rob Ray saying what he was saying during the pregame, not so much. So let's just go with this. It doesn't match navy blue, royal blue. I don't care.
Can you break out that Where's Kim jersey one more time? So absolutely. Everybody needs to see that. 100%. That needs to be the thumbnail. The thumbnail on the YouTube channel.
Courtesy of Shop One Buffalo.
You gotta love to see it. You love to see it.
18
L's. I cannot believe they actually made that jersey. That is unbelievable.
I can't believe we won. I've got so many things. I've got entirely too many things. I just love the Wonka logo. I don't even care that it's like some offshoot at this point.
Just bring out the whole Sabres wardrobe. You love to see it.
I got a little flag on my window over there. Makes my whole room kind of yellow in the morning. It's really creepy, but that's beside the point.
It's beside the point. Listen, just an unbelievable effort by the boys tonight. Marty Brown just tweeted out 7 periods, 1 shootout, 82 saves, 2 wins for Michael Hauser, the Brick Hauser. Again, just guys, it was the sixth goaltender to start for Buffalo season, but it's such a great story.
6 times the charm.
Unbelievable story. Just like Dustin Tokarski getting in there and getting his first.
He got his first. UPL got his first NHL start and win.
This is
as many bad things have happened for the Buffalo Sabres goaltending. Good things are also happening. It's like, silver linings in the thundercloud that has been this season, just raining down on all of our spirits, just drowning us in dirty water for a decade. But there is a silver lining in that cloud, and that's a lot of good wins for a lot of young boys finally getting their chance and proving that they deserve to be playing at the highest level.
Agreed. I like what I've seen out of Matthias Samuelsson. You got to love the things you've seen from Bill Borgen, and Jacob Bryson got hit by that Rasmus Ristolainen ghost there at the blue line, and
the ghost
led to a shorthanded goal. But happens
to the best of us.
Exactly. You never know when that ghost will show up. Ask Rasmus. But you can't be upset with the effort these guys have put in and night out while under Granato, Donnie Meatballs. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. I actually enjoy watching hockey. I'm actually disappointed that the season's going to be ending soon because this hockey has been fun to watch.
It really has. And I think that a stat that we're kind of losing in the Brickhauser legend, which, don't get me wrong, is an amazing legend, is that as of right now, Sam Reinhart is 1 goal away from beating his career high in like 30 less games than any other season he's tried to beat that high. I believe he's at that 25 goal spot, and that's the highest he's ever done. So if he can get 1 goal in the next 2 games, he will have beat his career best in like 30 less games and without Jack. So hopefully, if that is not a nail in the coffin to the whole Sam can't do anything without Jack Eichel debate, like, I don't think people understand what debating means, because that's just that is the proof, that is the pudding, that is every counter argument you could possibly think of. Sam deserves the money. Sam deserves his own fucking line.
He's done a lot. He's had most of the success playing up the middle, which again, is extremely important for this team going forward. You need to have competitiveness and depth down the middle, and if you can have Jack Eichel and Dylan Cousins / Sam Reinhart as your 2A, 2B centers, I think you're doing really well for yourself next season. And I just don't see any reason with the way he's playing right now to move him back to the wing.
Absolutely not.
Why do you? You don't.
The only person that's going to benefit for being on Jack's wing next year, if we need to put somebody on a wing that maybe shouldn't be there, Dylan Cousins. Dylan Cousins needs to learn how to play the elite game from the most elite player on the squad. So if you're going to put anybody on Jack's right side, it's Dylan Cousins, or it's just the ghost that bodied Risto,
or Casey,
or Casey. Casey's fine too.
He's really shown a lot.
Casey would be perfect.
I got no problem with Casey. I mean, we can talk about line combinations for next season later on, but let's just keep on talking about the legend of Michael Hauser. Now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I know we have UB Bulls 86 chime in here. I'm not going to sit here and say Michael Hauser is going to be in the NHL next season. Again, it's a nice story. Let him finish out the season. Probably give him it the rest of the way here, and just see how well the kid plays. Maybe he earns himself an AHL contract. I wouldn't be against that at all. Like, why would you if he continues to play this well? Let him play in the AHL. Let him fight for a spot with Tokarski, and obviously UPL has, I think, that starting job locked up at least for next season. I don't see why you would want him in the NHL, UPL in the NHL next year. He's not ready. He's performed well. He's performed admirably, before he got injured, but I don't want to rush the development of a young goaltender. I just don't want to do that. There's no reason to.
Absolutely not. And the offseason this year, just like last year, there's so many goalies that can move houses. So just say that somebody's going to take a chance on a guy that's had 2 NHL starts that have gone really well, but against pretty defensively minded teams, that being the New York Islanders, playing that early 2000s New Jersey Devils style and playing it pretty close to, if not like at the exact same level of that cup winning Devils team. I can't knock the Islanders. It's a boring style, but they play it to perfection. I can't knock it. But, if Hauser gets the start against we're playing the Caps our last 2 games, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Caps are a little bit more forward-minded, They only have Alex Ovechkin. They only have Backstrom, not a big fucking deal. But if Hauser can put up similar save percentages against a team with that much offensive strength, then maybe he could be someone's backup. There's a lot of goaltenders that are moving that are also aging out. So a 28-year-old kid that shows that he can clearly handle himself against teams that are performing at the highest caliber in a very tough division. Like, I don't think he'll make a lot, but I could see him get picked up for a couple years as a backup for somebody. If things go bad here, if Olmark says, see ya, I'd be feeling all right if Hauser was the number 2. I wouldn't want him to be the number 1, but knowing that we got Hauser on the back burner, that makes me It's only 2 games. We're only 2 games in. We should not get ahead of ourselves.
A lot of this could be adrenaline too. As a goalie, man, you come into this situation like this, and your adrenaline's on high, your blood's pumping, and I'm not saying Michael Hauser is a bad goaltender. He's not. He's proven that he might belong in the NHL, but I'm not willing to hand him the keys to a backup position right now in the NHL. Not a shot. I think he's at least earned himself an opportunity in the AHL. They're interviewing him right now, and holy crap, he has large eyebrows. He
does kind of have that Gabe from The Office look in the nicest way. Like, he's got those big eyes, that pointy kind of looks like a ghost, but not like in like a I haven't eaten in a month ghost. But he's a very pale boy. He's got some very long neck. He's got some unique physical features. And I'm not knocking him.
Yeah, he's very goalie. He's big. He's very goalie.
Yeah, hockey players aren't usually good-looking people. And I'm not a good-looking guy, so I can't knock anybody on the way they look. So, take whatever I say about somebody's appearance with.
And I agree. I don't think Michael Hauser's an NHL goalie. I think he's at least earned himself an AHL contract. And if he plays out all of the next 2 seasons or whatever in the AHL, then I'm happy for him. He earned it. He's come into a tough situation here in Buffalo on a bottom feeding team. I know we're still have a 2-point lead, I guess you can call it, for last place. The next closest team is Anaheim right now.
That's true.
But,
it's still statistically possible that we do not finish dead fucking last. And for like the past 5 years, that's been my baseline for like, it wasn't that bad that we weren't dead last.
Dead last. It's been fun to watch these games. And again, you got a great performance. Let's not understate it. Anders Bjork probably had his best game as a Buffalo Sabre tonight. So I wasn't surprised at all when I saw him go second in the shootout. Honestly, he earned that. He earned the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And he made the best of it. He scored. He ended up scoring the game-winning goal in the shootout. You can call it a hat trick if you want. Don't call it a hat trick. He scored 3 goals tonight.
I still never understood why that shootout goal doesn't count as a goal for. Because I remember at the beginning of this year, Eichel got his first goal
of the record books.
On a shootout.
It'd be the thing with the record books. You don't want to.
All right.
Because how many more goals would Ovechkin have? How many more goals would Ovechkin have if you're counting shootout goals?
I guess that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
You could retire in 4 years instead of 5.
That's right. But again, it was a fun game to watch tonight. You saw the Sabres get down early, but they battled back like they have been under Granato ever since he took over. Under Ralph, they get down a goal or two halfway into the game. You, as a fan, you're watching. It's like, yeah, this game's over. They're just not in it. There's no bite. There's no bite. With this team, Granato has them grinding from start to finish, and you have to love that about this team. And I think that he's going to make it very harder for the Bagulas not to take that interim tag off and make him head coach. I think one of the things they might be waiting for, because Kevin Adams' connections with the Hurricanes organization, is he's maybe waiting to see what happens with Rod Brind'Amour in Carolina, because he has not signed an extension yet to be their head coach for next season. So maybe they're waiting to see what Rod the Bod does there, because he is probably the only guy I would put above Don Granato right now to be the head coach of this hockey team.
I mean, if nothing else, I do hope Donnie Meatballs stays somewhere in the coaching mix, even if he doesn't keep the full-time job. Like, if he doesn't see it as an affront to his ego to go back to the assistant coach. I just feel like with a team like Buffalo, somebody kind of needs to be sitting there to, like, guide you through so you are now the coach of the Buffalo Sabres orientation. That's not a job you just want to take and just have fun with it. Good luck. Don't crash the fucking thing. I kind of feel like somebody needs to be there to, like, give you some onboarding before you just start running with that team.
I agree.
Protect Bjork or Tage. If we had to choose one, you mean?
I think you protect him with Bjork, right?
Bjork, honestly, yeah, I'd protect Bjork over Tage. I mean, Tage has that big reach. Tage can have that good shot, but Bjork as of right now is a more complete player. He's playing a 200-foot game. He's playing.
If you really wanted to protect Tage, there's ways around that. We saw it in the expansion draft with Vegas. I'm not saying Buffalo would waste picks in an attempt to protect Tage Thompson, but you can offer up picks to Seattle and in return, hey, just don't take these guys. You can have these picks. You saw it happen with Vegas a few years ago in their expansion draft. So there are ways around it.
Sadly, the picks this year aren't that valuable of a currency to trade with, just because this draft is so hard to predict. Just
Asplund or Tage, that's a good question. I think I would say Asplund.
That is a really tough call.
I think Asplund's better defensively. I mean, I think Tage has more upside. I think he has a higher ceiling, but that is a tough one, actually. I might go Tage just because of his size alone. You can't teach size, but I think Asplund's more of the complete player. And what you get right now from Asplund is what you have is what you get. You might have a borderline 12 to 15 goal scorer a season, maybe in a good year, but he's going to be more complete and play well and defensively, and he'll kill penalties. That's for me.
There is also the very likely outcome that come next season, our young boy Zemgus Girgensons will be somewhere back in the mix, who fulfills a pretty similar role to Rasmus Asplund, who is also currently signed, whereas Rasmus Asplund would need another new deal because I believe he's up at the end of this year. So financially alone, that might be the call.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, the off season's a week away here. We can really start getting into nitty gritty about possible lineups for next season, what to do in the expansion draft, who to protect, who not to protect, who to go after in free agency. And then we'll have the draft. I'm not sure if they announced a date for the draft lottery yet, but that has to be right around the corner as well. Maybe we'll know where we're drafting.
We're not doing that bingo ball thing again, are we?
I don't know. I really don't know.
The suction tube drama that ensued last year.
Oh, that was wild.
That was ridiculous.
It was so wild. But again, it's a great effort by the boys tonight, and couldn't be happier for Michael Hauser.
Absolutely.
But I think priority number one is figuring out what you have with Linus Ullmark, what his expectations are for a new contract. What your options are at goaltender, both starting and backup. That has to be your number one priority right now. And then obviously going into free agency, there's a lot of holes to fill, in my opinion. I think you would want to lock back up Jake McCabe. I think he takes his leadership role here in Buffalo very seriously, and I think he takes a lot of pride in having a letter on his jersey. So I think he'd be willing to come back to Buffalo if the price was right, and I want to bring him back.
Yeah. Somebody needs to teach those stay-at-home boys how to truly stay at home, and Jake McCabe doesn't put a lot of points on the board, and it's because he's the stay-at-home boy. So I like this good cop, bad cop scenario that we got going on with our D pairs. We got Yoki Haru, who's pretty stay-at-home, going to guard the line, let Dahlin go drive the play. Bryson's kind of the same way in his pairing for the most part. Oh, well, absolutely. We'd all love to see a little bit more physicality out of the team.
I think I hope you will too. I like the physicality that Will Borgen brings to the game. He's very, he grinds. He's everything Craig Rivet loves in a defenseman. He brings jam and grit, and he's not bad offensively either. Biggest needs this offseason are center, left wing, and goaltender. I think in reverse order right there. I think
goaltending.
I think if Sam is playing center next season, I think you could put that probably third on your list. Whereas definitely want to fill some voids on the left side, and first and foremost, your goaltending. You got to get that figured out. Need a veteran center, a goal scoring winger, and a backup goaltender. I don't disagree about a veteran center, but again, if you're going with your top three centermen are Eichel, Sam, and Dylan, I think you're doing pretty good for yourself. Find maybe Casey. I hate saying Casey being your fourth line center, but
hot take. I would love the Asplund, Middlestat, Thompson thing to be our baseline of fourth line and build up an excellence from there.
But the thing is,
we don't live in that world.
The thing is, you can still play that line 12 to 15 minutes a night. You know what I mean? Like people don't realize that back in the day, Maxima Fenaganov, Thomas Vanek, and Derek Roy was your third line in the days of Briere and Jury, and they still played somewhere around 15 to 18 minutes a night. Just because you're playing, on a bottom line doesn't mean you're not going to. If you're producing, you're going to play.
Yeah, exactly.
So, there's just a lot of different ways you can go, a lot of different line combinations you can think up next season. But again, that's so far away, and let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's one step at a time. Let's address the goaltending first, and then let's build in front of that. But who's out if Eichel, Okposo, Girgensons back in? That's a tough question. I think Cody Eakin is his days. After the season, he's played his last game as a Sabre. They'll probably find a way to get rid of that contract.
Please.
Yes.
Also, please. I'm sorry, but please find a way to get rid of Okposo. I don't care how nice of a locker room guy he is. I need a guy who's nice on the ice.
You gotta go.
It's a game played on the ice. Yeah. You gotta be better.
Exactly. You gotta be better on the ice.
He's got Eric Stahl's boots, but he's 32.
Yeah,
he can't be that.
He got an injury issue.
He's a year older than me. He can't be that slow. Shoot.
Yeah, he's got injury issues, and he's one concussion away from being a vegetable almost, man. Like, I'd hate to see the guy. I would hate to see something bad happen to such a nice guy. So, I'd like to see him retire at the end of the season. I really would. Or just find a way to get rid of that contract. It's such a burden.
You think Jason Botterill owes us one? He'll take a shitty contract.
He's not that dumb. He's not that dumb. He's not that desperate to get to the salary cap floor. Put it that way. No. Could see an Okposo retirement or buyout this year. I agree. I mean, I hope so. I hope so. Would it not? It would be nice
in a perfect world. But to his previous comment, I definitely would not have any opposition to seeing Dylan Cousins on Jack Eichel's right wing next year.
Yeah. But
if you're going to put him anywhere but up the center, put him on Jack's right side, or just don't put him anywhere.
Yep. I know, getting ready here for the next episode, 2 episodes of Two Goalies on Mike. I know we're going to be doing a commemorative episode of for Ryan Miller and his career. Should be a lot of fun. I hope a lot of you guys can share your memories with us. I'll put out a tweet tomorrow asking for those memories again. Pictures you might have with Ryan from games, or maybe autograph, sessions, something like that. Get him out there. Get us your memories, because we really want to celebrate the career of Ryan Miller, because he deserves it. Best American goalie that ever lived. I don't think there's really any argument there. So should be a lot of fun. Remember that I'll Hang Up and Listen has been brought to you by Outlet Liquor. What's your outlet? Make Outlet Liquor your spot. As we return to normalcy in 2021, don't haste. Come buy a case at Outlet Liquor. What's your outlet? And brought to you by Amherst Ale House for the remaining games this season. Make sure you get over to Amherst Ale House. Half off pitchers of Molson, Blue, Coors, all your favorite beers, plus half off medium pepperoni pizzas during all Sabres games. Make sure you give them a call or just show up. I've had their wings before. They're unbelievable. I can't stress it enough. Get over to Amherst Ale House. It's just a great, great, great atmosphere. I love watching games there whenever I can, whether they're Bills or Sabres. These last few Sabres games, make sure you get over to Amherst Ale House. And, of course, manscaped.com. Use code word TRAINWRECK, all capital letters, TRAINWRECK. You get 20% off plus free shipping. That's code word TRAINWRECK at manscaped.com. 20% off plus free shipping. Get yourself the Lawnmower 3.0, a razor that comes with a built-in flashlight so you can help with your trimming, something I desperately need to do. And it's waterproof too, so you can use it in the shower in case you're in a rush. Bring in the shower with you, get a quick shave, and your balls will thank you. But hey, it's been fun, Steve, producer Steve. Hashtag we are all Hauser. I sent that tweet out. I tried to tag Buffalo Sabres 06 in this, but that's not his handle. But thanks for the inspiration on that one. Hashtag we are all Hauser for sure. Always a pleasure. Absolutely. We love it when you guys join us and comment on the show. A lot of fun. Cousins and Eichel, man, that is an awesome combo. I agree. It could be a very an awesome combination, but we'll see. Again, let's not get too ahead of ourselves talking about next season's line combinations. But again, guys, I'll Hang Up and Listen for me and producer Steve. You guys have a great night, and let's go Sabres. She's a brick. Hauser wins the game in a shootout.
Hey, who's